Today we have Ryan and Jen Walters with us today, and they're coming back again to talk about some of the things that we need to avoid, that are going to sink that relationship. And I'm looking at some notes here, and Jennifer was saying, put your phone down. Oh, okay. Julie, can you put your phone down too, please?
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Jennifer, help us out.
Sorry.
What are the red flags at the beginning
Calm
of
down.
relationships?
Not even on the table.
Yeah, it's so easy to lay it down and then just touch it every once in a while and see who's texting us, who loves us. But
Its presence there is a distraction to the brain. So the science has studied that, and distractions interfere with our connection for sure.
so distractions is a big thing. What else are you thinking?
That's hard, that comes between couples. The one thing we talked about was security, and in our survey from a few years back, that was an issue for husbands and wives. And just whatever we can do to promote security in our relationship so that our spouse feels loved and secure and able to be open is really super important. And that's going to differ. It's going to vary for different people. And when we went through our really difficult years that I still blame on menopause, I felt very insecure for the first time in our married life. I did not feel insecure when Ryan had 100 girls asking him for his autograph after hockey games, when he went on the road for big trips. It was a different season in my life, but then I hit that time when, and I was super insecure. We had to work out what things could help me feel more secure. And Ryan was, really actually adamant. He was the president of the Abbotsford Heat hockey team at the time, AHL team. And he said to me, if you need me, phone me anytime. I'll walk out of a board meeting if I have to, because you're my priority. And that just, I didn't do that to him when he was in a board meeting, but that made me feel super secure.
I'm going to jump in too, Mike. As the Gottman organization, we like a lot. They've done lots of great research on marriage. And they actually say that 69% of the stuff that we have to work through as married couples never gets resolved. So you talk about things, people say, well, we got this and we got that.
Irreconcilable differences.
Right? Totally. So the point is, we want to stay best friends, even when we're not perfectly resolving every part of our life.
Yeah. Well, as you're talking together, first of all, Jennifer, thanks for your transparency and talking about your insecurity. But I know guys are insecure. And Ryan, why do you think it is we just clam up and we try to fake it till we make it and we blow it normally, but we don't want to admit our insecurities? Heck, we don't even know how to talk about them, it seems.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Mike. I don't know, it's a guy thing, maybe. Maybe it's the way that the Lord made us. We're all so different, and we're so different. And we really, we love that. I mean, teams are built of different players. You can't have all defensemen, right? You can't have all goalies. So, I think you can really celebrate that. I mean, the goal of the marriage is to get enough said that, we're in a place where we can share insecurities. And I think Jenny's helped me too. We went to a marriage conference. So there you go. We not only do them, but we go to them.
Right.
And for the first time, I don't cry. I'm just a guy that doesn't cry. And for the first time, I had tears in my eyes. And you know what it was about? It was about Jen and I talking about our finances in the future, right? Like I had insecurities in that area that I never really even knew I had. So I think that, we can help each other. I mean, I think you have to do it at the right time and in the right place, but we can help each other voice those.
And it's interesting that happened in a marriage conference setting for you, Ryan, because there's a lot of science about getting away for 48 hours. So it's not really just what we read, and everything we do is important. But when we can remove ourselves to a new setting, like a marriage conference, and spend 48 hours just with us, what helps it even more if it's in nature, if it's a setting that involves nature, those things allow our creativity to just blossom, and it can be such a healing time and an exciting time to it's really important. A lot of married couples that we've heard talk, many of them spend a weekend every year doing what they call a business plan for their year. But it's that getting away together and just being together is really super
So
important.
when you're saying these things, the takeaway is that couples need to get away together and talk together. I want to bring Julie into the conversation in a moment, but here's a question for you, and I struggle with it. As a pastor and as a communicator, why do you think Christian marriages break up at the same rate as those who say they're not followers of Jesus? Maybe you can both chime in on that one.
We have strong feelings about that. What would you say, Ryan?
Well, right off the bat, Mike, I think that we need to put on the table that, if there's this unbelievably perfect, amazing creator, which we know that God is, our Heavenly Father, then you also know, because of this world, that there's an incredible evil force. And right off the bat, the evil one does not want Christian marriages to survive. That's number one, right? And I think there's a lot of pressure there because, think about what we talked about earlier, that marriage is the picture of Jesus and the church, right? And so if the evil one can get into a marriage and destroy a marriage, that really can help ruin the testimony of that couple. So I think there's lots of pressure from that side. What else would you say, Jen?
Well, and the compounded on that is just the entertainment and media world that we live in, and it's not favorable to marriage. It just isn't. Every show for the dramatic thing is going to have something attacking marriage, an affair, whatever. We're bombarded with anti-marriage. Sort of. And so that compounded with the attack of Satan on marriage, because it is a picture of Christ in the church, and because people know us by our love. Those two things are huge. And for many too, it's not how it's kind of a generational thing. If we didn't grow up with our parents being married, or in a strong, happy marriage, or a strong, happy Christian marriage, we didn't learn from the beginning. We didn't have the role models that past generations had. So but it's not hopeless, because the Bible tells us nothing's impossible with God, and we really believe. We just want to be marriage encouragers, and we really believe that there is always hope out there.
Well, I love what you've been sharing. We just have run out of time for the second period, but we're going to be back in the third period in just a moment as Julie's going to bring some questions.